since the liquidation event for the entire crypto market on October 10th of this year, it turns out behind the scenes, just if you look at XRP specifically, there has been a lot of accumulation going on. And in fact, even in just the last few days or so, there has been a massive surge in new XRP accounts being created. That means people moving XRP to cold storage, and I'm going to show you the data. Now, it makes it extra fun to make this video and highlight this, because remember how yesterday everybody on social media was screaming, we're in a bear market, we're our little bitches, you remember that? Well, now it's today, and the market's way higher, and it's the complete opposite. It's all, we're so back. It's just funny to me. And I'm not even claiming we can't go lower after this. It's not really my shtick to be calling short-term price action, since I'm not a chart guy myself. I'm Mr. Hodl. Like, all I do is I buy stuff and then I hold for years and years and years, and then I win. And I'm even going to highlight the degree to which this has been beneficial, including for older coins, because do you know which coin started truly rocketing today? It is one of those old coins, one of the dino coins. XRP is a dino coin, and I know a lot of people use that as a pejorative, but it's an old coin. But here to stay. Anyway, we'll get into it. There's lots of fun stuff here. So I hope you're feeling a little bit better now. The market's up a bit west of the United States. It is Friday, November 7th, 2025. XRP up close to 7% over the last 24 hours at $2.35. You'd love to see it, especially after we saw low got in recent days. Bitcoin at $103,345. One of the stars of the day is Zcash. It hit a 24-hour high of $735. That's the highest it's been in years. It's currently $677. Look at how it's climbed just over the last 24 hours. Look at this. It's up almost 30% in the last 24 hours. It was $522 earlier, close to 24 hours ago. Again, got up to $735. And if you just look over the last year, here's a 12-month chart of it now. It was, at its low was hovering around $30. So it went from $30 to $735 today. So you never know for sure when something is going to pump or what it will be necessarily. But either you have exposure when the thing happens or you do not. That's the way that this works. This is a very old coin. Very, very old coin. This existed before I knew that XRP existed, before I jumped into crypto in 2017. This is an old coin. And look at this freaking chart. It absolutely rocketed. This is not what you see in bear markets. Somebody can people in the back here, tell the people in the back, can you hear me back there? Hey, is this thing on? Hey, this is not what happens in bear markets. Okay, doesn't mean we can't go lower first. I'm not into the short-term prediction game. As far as I go, since I'm not a chart guy myself, I'm comfortable saying what my suspicion is directionally where we're going to go for like the remainder of a cycle or something like that. That's about as far as I'm going to go. Because then we're all entitled to our opinions. So it's okay to think. But the cool thing for me, though, my strategy doesn't change regardless of what I think is probable. I just hold until I'm enticed to sell. So like nothing changes for me whether I'm right or wrong. That's why for me it's inconsequential. And that's why I said the other day, like, I don't stake my reputation on this crap because it doesn't matter. My real message is it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong because it's not going to change what I do. I just hold and then I win and get life-changing wealth. And Zcash is one of the coins that I've been holding for years and years and years and years, and I have exposure to this. It's just fantastic to see. I didn't know that this would be one of the ones that would pump ridiculously over the last year, but here we are. And here's a post from Credible Crypto. Just this morning, he said, sentiment went from it's so over to bull market is back in 24 hours. Never change, crypto Twitter, never change. And that's exactly what happened. It's not just, it's not just Zcash that went up. If I scroll down, you can see it's just a sea of green. It's just that Zcash is one of the biggest winners out there, obviously. And so there was also this post from the blockchain backer, February 26th of last year. So this is over a year and a half old. I'm not going to read the post, but his post there is not the reason I'm highlighting this. It's to mock people that do not get that those who hold coins and have broad exposure and hold just for years and years and years, whatever it takes. It's to point out that those are the people that win. And these self-righteous jackasses that make fun of people that have the approach that I personally have, I want to mock them because they're mocking me, they're mocking us consistently. They are wrong. People like me who are right. We deserve to highlight this. And so there's this guy responding to a blockchain backer post. He was actually a post about Bitcoin. And this guy just wanted to be a complete douchebag. So he responded to the blockchain backer on February 27th of last year, year and a half ago, over that. And he said, been waiting on XRP show for the past 5 years. How are your altcoin dino coins doing? You totally missed altcoin season in 2021. How Zcash and Dash, LMAOOO, you are a joke, in all caps, he writes. Well, you fucking piece of shit. Let me tell you what, the blockchain backer just won today in a separate post. I don't have it on the screen here. He took profit from Zcash, the dino coin that you have mocked him for holding. And how about XRP? Because again, this was a year and a half ago. XRP rocketed. How about that dino coin? How about Zcash? How about that dino coin? Profits taken by him, and deservedly so. Been holding a long, long time. You are a joke. You are a damn fool. And if you think that the entire asset class isn't going to rise as the market just gets hotter and hotter and hotter, then you're an even bigger fool than you demonstrated in this stupid post, which is aged like a fine milk. You idiot stick. You done messed up. And so just the whole market goes. Either you have exposure when it happens or you don't. XRP rocketed after this idiot said it. Becoming the top 100 coin, top performing coin out of the top 100 for that point. I don't know if that's still true after Zcash just rocketed, and which is perfectly fine. Like, I don't think XRP's done anyway. I think XRP's going to go way, way, way higher. I'm just highlighting this. You'll love to see it. But it's not just Zcash that is up. Charting Guy shared this post. Others plus 9% today, and Others is the chart that shows the top 125 coins by market cap, excluding the top 10. So it's altcoins, up 9% when he posted this just a few hours ago. And people are looking at it like, well, at least it's not like 1 or 2% at least. You know, people are looking at that and thinking. So we'll see if it persists. But either way, the message remains the same. The message that will help the most people, the most regular people, and I am just regular people. There's nothing special about me because I have a YouTube channel. I'm a regular dude. I don't think I'm smarter than everybody else out there. I don't think I'm smarter than the market. I know I'm not. The right message that will help the most people is buy broad exposure to the crypto market and then hold for a long time, even if it's longer than what you want it to be, even if it's years and years and years, even if it's almost a decade, whatever it takes, because you can't control the time. You may not like it if the answer is, what if it is 10 years? What if it did take that? You need 10 years to get the life-changing wealth. Well, it would take like 60 in the stock market. So shut your bitchin' mouth up right there. But you can't control it anyway. You can only control whether you have the exposure to the market when it happens or when it doesn't. Or if you choose whether you have exposure, but the market goes whenever it wants to go. And so there was this post from Julian Biddle. On a day like this, it's worth reminding this, reminding you of what's really driving the market. Julian Biddle, of course, is the head of macro research at Global Macro Investor. And you got in black the ISM, which is a key metric in the business cycle metric. It's one of the primary drivers in that metric. And then you have Bitcoin implied ISM pricing in the pink color right there. And on September 20th this year, he simply wrote, most people are overcomplicating the idea that Bitcoin's traditional 4-year cycle can extend. It's simple. If the business cycle extends, the crypto cycle extends. Bitcoin is a macro asset. Okay, the more time passes, the more I find this thesis compelling. I've always believed it was plausible, and I talked about it even close to a year ago. Just putting it out there it was an unpopular opinion. Now it's becoming much more popular, because either we're entering a bear market and the 4-year cycle exists, or the things that drive the 4-year market cycle still exist, but they're now pushing a 5-year market cycle. And there are arguments for that having to do with debt refinancing. So the idea that we're going to have a blow off top in Q1 or Q2 of 2026 ain't crazy, my friends. Definitely ain't crazy. But this is a primary driver of what's going on. This is why I always say, if you're only looking at charts to decide whether we're going to be in a bull market or bear market moving forward, you are making a mistake. You have to consider the macro picture. There are huge drivers. It's like you're just not allowing yourself access to a substantially important piece of the puzzle. Why would you not do that? You cannot only look at charts. You have to look at macro as well. You just have to. Here's a post from on-chain analytics firm Sentiment, and this is wild. So again, think about the price action we've seen today for the entire market, but specifically XRP. So the environment's at least looking good today. I know it can change on a dime. Got that. I mean, it just did. It went to the upside. Great. But look at what's been happening in recent days while the market was in absolute chaos as XRP dropped down to $2.09 on Live Coin Watch, and on some exchanges it went even lower, maybe like $2.06. What was actually happening behind the scenes? Well, Santiman's highlighting that. Look at this chart. They wrote, XRP's price has bounced back, and users who bought the dip have enjoyed a nice plus 12% jump in the past 24 hours. And I'll note that this was posted a couple days ago, but I'm making a broader point. You want to know this. So and then they wrote, notably, XRP Ledger data indicates there were 21,595 new XRP wallets created in a 48-hour span in the past couple days, the highest level of growth in 8 months. Think about that. I don't know who did this and why, but looks like probably lots of people. Businesses, institutions, probably the smart money. As the price of XRP cratered, it was viewed as a point of maximum opportunity. And people create, because if you get a surge when the price is down, what the hell do you think has happened? Just use common sense here. People have bought XRP and they're putting it in cold storage. A ton. I mean, this is XRP scan. You can see the jump here. Look at this. So on any given day over the last several months or so, on any given day, you'd probably get anywhere from like 4,000 to 5,000 new accounts created. It could be a little lower, a little higher, depending on the day, but 4,000 to 5,000 would be new in a single day. Like what she got on November 2nd as the market was taken. 11,242 new accounts on a down day. Down. And then it just went back to normal. There were a couple spikes, but think about that. If that's happening, those are people. You don't create accounts to not put a bunch of extra. Why are you creating the accounts then? Because if you want to sell, you move the XRP to exchanges, right? Isn't that something? So someone's hoarding XRP. That couldn't be more freaking obvious. And then take a look at this. This is a post from chart analyst CW. And he wrote, since October, exchange reserves of XRP have decreased significantly. Investors are accumulating XRP. And you can see what he's talking about. Look at this. So in October, looks like there was what? $3 billion in XRP on the exchange. If I'm reading that right, I think that's about right. And then it came down to what? Maybe this is what he's highlighting here. Not 2.2 billion. Maybe it could be this signal right here. That might be good. So maybe it's 2.70. That's a massive decline. Look at that. I mean, you can see it fall off a cliff. So think about that. That's, again, if you're taking crypto off exchanges, what does that mean? And then he also shared this post, which is even more exciting. This is wild. I want to run through this with you. So he shared this post now, separate chart, and he said, during the same period, very few XRP withdrawals occurred. A few whales accumulated large amounts of XRP. Okay, so think through this with me, folks. Exchange reserves on Binance, the world's largest exchange by volume, have gone down a lot. You can visibly see it on a chart very obviously, right? So this means people, they're taking XRP off exchanges to put into cold storage. That's self-custody there. And they're, of course, doing that because they do not plan on selling anytime soon. If they intended to sell soon, they just keep their XP on exchange. So what's interesting, though, is that as you can see, and in this post here, this is his second one here. As you can see in the second post that he shared on X, although it's true, Binance reserves went down a lot, there were not a ton of XRP transactions coinciding with this. So there weren't a ton of people causing that number of that reserve number to drop a lot. There were not a ton of people making transactions causing that reserve number to go down. That means that the transactions that did cause the XRP reserves on Binance to go down had to have been absolutely massive. This means that whales are accumulating XRP. That's the smart money. They're behaving differently than the typical lemming retail investors. That is absolutely the case. Well, I mean, what other conclusion could you reasonably draw from this? It's very obvious, folks. This is indeed the case. I don't know how you could not be excited to be an XRP holder right now. I don't know how you could not be excited to be in crypto right now. And nobody, and I'll reiterate, excuse me, I've been saying this a lot in videos. Nobody knows for sure, with 100% certainty, if we're going to continue a bull market or go into a bear market. And that includes me. I always acknowledge that. I'm a humble enough dude. Like I acknowledge I'm wrong from time to time. I'm human, sure. I don't have an ego about it. If I'm wrong, I'll just acknowledge I'm wrong. But that being said, I just do not believe that it is remotely probable that we're entering a bear market now. I just don't think that if you just look at, especially on a macro level, there's just not sufficient supporting evidence for that. There absolutely is not. You can find, and I've highlighted a bunch of, I'm not afraid to highlight the bear perspectives on the channel because I want to balance things out as best I can. And I've highlighted a ton of perspectives indicating, hey, XRP's not looking hot. The market on the whole is not looking so hot. But you can get indicators that don't look poor, like they even look perhaps a little bit bearish subjectively. But that doesn't mean that we've then fallen into full-on bear mode. I've been through too many of these dramatic dips to know to be fooled into thinking that a dramatic dip, in this case Bitcoin falling 21%, I've been through too many of these to fall for the trick and thinking that means, we're in a bear market now. These happen all the damn time in bull markets. You get massive dips, sentiment is what it is, just like we went through, and then it flips and it goes upward. And so I don't know for sure if it's going to continue upward, but I absolutely believe that's the most probable thing here. But people are going to scream bloody murder every single time the market goes down. I'm just not going to play that game. I've seen this too many times. And you know what? It's going to happen again in the future. I don't know when. I don't know if there's going to be another massive dip this cycle before we hit a peak. But there certainly could be. And if it makes sense to flip bearish there, if there's top cycle indicators triggering, then I'll acknowledge it. But if there aren't, I'm going to say, guys, this is just another fall. It just happens. So it depends on the specifics in the future. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to be fearful right now. So you guys come to your own conclusions here. But I just don't think that it makes sense to believe we're done. And yeah, people, the smart money hoarding XRP. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea.